Iceberg Tech has just turned 1 year old. In the last 53 weeks, I've churned out over 60 videos, joined the YouTube partner program, and had a lot of laughs along the way. In real life, I'm suffering through the indignity of a Christmas temp job right now, and don't have the time or energy to make any real content, so sit back and enjoy as I let you in on a few secrets about my channel, and what I have planned for next year. Before I talk about the future, I thought I'd start by showing you some of the analytics for Iceberg Tech here in 2021. If you're watching this because you're a new creator yourself, or are just curious about the inner workings of YouTube, this might be of interest to you. If not, check out the chapter list in the description to skip ahead. I started Iceberg Tech in December 2020, and as of December 2021, I've attracted 1,310 subscribers, almost 180,000 views, for a total of 7,700 hours of watch time. If you're aware of the YouTube Partner Program requirements, you'll know that they require 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 hours of watch time. I was accepted into the YPP in October 2021, and since then my videos have been earning advertising revenue from Google. My channel is a PC-focused tech channel, looking primarily at used PC components and how well they perform in modern video games. This is particularly significant right now, as due to a massive electronic shortage, new parts are scarce, and old parts have been driven up in price by a huge amount. This is a phenomenon I've dubbed the scalper pandemic, and I've made a few videos about it which I'll link in the description. I started the channel kinda without a specific direction, but when the reality of the 2021 tech shortage became apparent, I committed myself to this specific subject instead of the more general tech channel I'd planned to make. A lot of my most successful videos have focused on being SEO friendly. My top 5 performing videos are about used graphics cards and are in my Versus 2021 series, where I've not only titled and described the video to promote it to people looking to see how their graphics card will do in modern games, but also included chapters for each game in the hope that it gets picked up in Google searches. One of my top 5 most successful videos was either successful because of how it measures the performance of one particular CPU that can potentially allow owners to play games without a graphics card, or because it had a curse word in the title. I assume my viewers aren't that basic, but you never know. Anyway, the SEO-based nature of these videos means I get a ton of views on several of them, but not a huge amount of watch time. I try to balance out these videos, where a viewer might only need a small amount of specific information, with some more generally interesting ones that sustain much longer watch times. A lot of how-to channels will tell you to focus on watch time percentage, but for me the main goal is to make useful videos, and I don't think trying to con people into watching an entire 10-minute video for the one bit of information they needed would make me very popular. Looking at my least successful videos, and there's a few stories to tell here. Firstly, I started the channel with a handful of videos re-uploaded from my other channel. I have a gaming channel on which I made a few PC tech videos that did moderately well, and convinced me to start the second channel for just that kind of content. They haven't done very well since the transfer, but honestly I just put them there in order to give some content for new subscribers. I didn't necessarily expect them to do all that well. Other videos that didn't do well include some YouTube shorts. I had some modest success when YouTube was testing the feature out, but they all died off after a few hours. I tried a few more since, but none of them have ever accrued more than a couple of hundred views. Other relative flops include, well, videos that are less SEO friendly. Some of these videos have great watch time percentages, but actually don't earn that many views. So, with all that said, how much did I make? As you all know, YouTube pays out according to your RPM and your total number of monetized views. My RPM, or revenue per melee, varies a lot, but right now it's averaging around £1.72 or $2.29. That's not a lot, and my account is still new enough that I'm not sure if that's because I'm not a good bet for advertisers yet, or if this is just what tech RPM looks like, but in order to make a comfortable living, at this rate I would need about 25,000 views per day to make that RPM work. In reality, I'm gaining about 1,000 views per day. So far, between becoming monetized on the 12th of October and writing this on the 12th of December, I've made £89.26, or $118.45. I don't know how that compares to, say, stitching shoes for Nike. I guess it's about on par, but I feel like I might have aged out of that particular career path. If I were to make this channel into a full-time job, my target would have to be approximately 20 to 25 times growth. This sounds like a pretty challenging number, and from what I can see on Social Blade's estimates right now, it simply isn't realistic in less than 5 years. I'm trying not to let that dishearten me, however. A lot of channels similar to mine, like Random Gaming in HD and David Does Dallas, had videos that took off and attracted a much bigger audience in a short time, and I still have enough self-belief that I can join them with some more effort and perhaps just a smidge of luck. I'm planning to do that by being consistent with my content, as well as launching a few new project ideas in 2022. I'm sure I'll do another video like this next year, if I haven't given up by then, so feel free to check back and see how I'm doing. As I said, I'm hoping to mix things up a bit in 2022 with some new video ideas, and to keep things clear in my mind, I've arranged them into categories. If you subscribed for my Versus 2021 series, I'm afraid that's completely going away. Instead, it will be replaced with the all-new and improved Versus 2022 series, testing older GPUs in a mixture of existing favourites and brand new titles. In response to your feedback, I'm increasing the amount of data I collect in a few ways. On higher performance graphics cards, I'll be adding higher resolution benchmarks, so there won't be as many embarrassing bottlenecking issues. And I can do this more easily now because I have a capture card capable of recording 1440 and 2160. I'm also retiring the old reasonably priced gaming PC, F's in the comments, in favour of a new model. This one has a £500 price tag with a Ryzen 5 5600G, 16 gigs of DDR4 4000, a 256GB SSD and 2TB HDD, plus a case that's a bit friendlier for bigger GPUs. I'll do a proper introduction for the new PC as soon as I've built it. But the idea behind the decision is that a lot of other YouTubers have been recommending the 5600G to system builders this past few months, and if a lot of people have taken this advice, they might want to know how it performs once they can actually find a graphics card. Now, I know a lot of you will have subbed because of the humble nature of the old quad-core system, and I'm not forgetting you. I'll be running my benchmarks twice. Once in the Enthusiast configuration with all 6 cores, PBO overclocking and 4000 speed RAM, and once with a few of the nicer features turned off. I'll disable 2 of the CPU cores, limit clock speeds closer to the Steam Hardware Survey average, and drop RAM speeds down to something more realistic. This does mean video length will probably be going up a bit, maybe 20 minutes or so, and it also means I'll probably be turning these out a little less frequently than I have this year. So that's the bad news. The good news is, if you stick around to the end of the video, I'll give you a bit of advanced knowledge about what's coming in the next few months. I have to apologise to people who subbed off the back of my ASRock X300, Lenovo and HP mini PC videos. I honestly intended to do more mini PC reviews this year, but the graphics card situation just kind of sucked up all the available air. If my finances allow, I definitely hope to look at a few more modern mini PCs, as well as maybe a few older models, and test them out in gaming and emulation. I am particularly interested in the AliExpress machines with 8th and 9th gen mobile Intel CPUs and desktop GTX 1650s, but the price on these has just gotten out of hand, so we might have to wait and see on that one. I'm in two minds about laptops. My Dell XPS 9560 video did really well, and I think this will definitely get a 2022 revisit, but my Razer Blade videos haven't done as well as I'd like. I'm planning on comparing the Blade 15 to a console in the next few weeks, and also looking at RT and DLSS performance, but unless things turn around, I don't think I'll be focusing on laptop videos going forwards. If things do turn around, the Blade 15 might find itself at the heart of a new project I was considering that's sort of like the old Potato Masher series by Germ Gaming, where I'd compare the laptop against the latest games on Xbox Series X. It's an expensive laptop to keep around if the videos are only going to get a couple of hundred views, so let me know your thoughts on that in the comments. I keep teasing this, don't I? Unpopular opinions is going to be a regular thing, and it's going to be split between videos where I rant about stuff I think about too much, and videos where I react to your views, which I trust will always be your sincerely held beliefs and not deliberate trolling. You wouldn't lie to me, would you? Although this was actually a core element of the channel when I started out, I'm probably not going to be able to do as many budget builds in 2022 as I did before. I will try to get a £150 build out, as in my mind it's sort of a new tradition, but unless I pick up some screaming deals, I don't think I'll be focusing on budget builds this year. That they're not very popular right now doesn't help their chances either. On the subject of stuff that's going away, I put a lot of time and effort into my first video essay, and honestly, I don't know if it was just a bad video, or it didn't fit in with the rest of my content, but the videos never really found an audience. The Console Killer video essay was definitely a passion project, maybe even a vanity project, but I don't think I'll be repeating it in 2022. Maybe when the channel's grown a little, I'll return to the idea, but in the meantime, it's being shelved. A lot of the content I had planned for my next essay has been reformatted into an unpopular opinion rant, so you're not really missing out on any solid gold content here. If you stuck around to the end, thank you very much. Your reward is a hint to my first GPU video planned for the Versus 2022 series. This card was incredibly popular in its day, although it got its manufacturer in some legal trouble. Thanks for watching this, or any of my other videos that have helped me get this far. Kindly do the usual YouTube things if you feel so inclined, and I'll see you next time.